You ready, Mike? Can you handle it?
I am. I
Okay.
can handle
All right. Here, you have your starting face on.
it. Well, I did. Now I've thought about it. Now I probably won't be able to do it right. Now I'll just probably have a weird look on my face.
That's even better. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to a. It's not even slightly late. It's a super late TMP Nerf Report. I'm Chewie.
Wah wah.
I'm joined as always by Mike.
Hello.
Yeah, so I had to go out of town because of a death in the family. I left on Tuesday. When was Tuesday? Tuesday is the 7th.
Right.
On the 8th, they said, hey, here's the balance patch that's going live later this week. On the 9th, the patch was in. And then I didn't get back until the 12th. Now, I got back Sunday night, the 12th. Mike and I were gonna record that night, do a quick Nerf Report stream the night I got back, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was under the impression it would go live on patch day, which would be now today, the following Tuesday. And Mike is like, pretty sure they're live already. And I said, what? Because at Nana's house, there's no internet. And I only have a gig of data. So I cut myself off from all things entertainment. I had like Discord and I had Twitter. That's about it. So, yeah. I opened up Hearthstone and it was like, blah, here's what's been nerfed. And I went, you know, Mike, if it's already up, screw it. Let's just wait till Tuesday because I'm tired tonight. So, yeah. That's why this is super late instead of being sort of at a relevant time. This is way later, but we have to do it, right, Mike?
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah. So,
Guess no one's gonna come kick in our door and arrest us if we don't, but we better not take that risk.
I don't know. I did hear some stuff outside the door earlier.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
did? Yeah,
saying.
that's right. Yeah.
All right. So, let's get to it. This should be relatively simple. Now, this was not a patch because anything was running away with the meta like the last patch. The last patch took Shaman and said, stop!
Yeah.
This one, honestly, almost all of these patches made me go, really? How about you, Mike?
Um, Several of them I understood. There were a couple where I was like, I didn't think that was too strong, but whatever.
Yeah, like the thing that I said when I first saw what was going to be patched was I didn't think Galakron decks were any kind of problem. I haven't personally had any problem with them. I don't know. So, but I guess looking at the data, which Blizzard has all of,
Hmm.
because it's their game, they just wanted to do a few tweaks here and there. I guess.
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to finish the job because the stats um, weren't what they wanted to see.
Pretty much. So, I guess we'll get to it. First up, we have Warlock. Fiendish Rites. Oh god, what does Fiendish Rites do? That's the one that gives your minions +1/+0, invokes Galakron and gives your minions +1/+0?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. That one is up from 3 mana to 4. And I guess that's just to slow down. Now, all of these nerfs are not to anything like Galakron Shaman in the previous balance patch. This is just to bring everything down and sort of smooth out the win rates, I think.
Hmm.
And so this is just to slow down the Zoodex by a turn. I'm guessing this is for the snowball effect. That pumping your entire team, making 2 extra dudes and pumping your entire team, which a Zoo deck can have 3 or 4 things on the board at this point.
Yeah.
I guess this was just to slow that down just a teensy bit. I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And the Warlock Galakron, you get 2 imps. So,
Wait, say that again?
The Warlock Galakron, you get 2 imps.
2 imps,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Which are demons.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I guess the zoo deck just had a little bit too much oomph behind it. I don't know. I don't think I've lost terribly many times to a zoo deck, so this one is the first one I saw and it made me go, really?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been having to play against like hunters and priests and shamans.
Oh my.
Hunters, priests, shamans, and rogues, yeah.
Hunters and priests, shamans, oh my. Anyway.
Yeah, so I didn't even know what Warlock decks have been doing. Apparently this,
yeah. So next up, Warrior got 2 nerfs.
Mm-hmm.
The Scion of Ruin, which, remember, is the 3/2 with Rush for 3 mana, but if you've invoked twice, it creates 2 copies of itself. For 3 mana.
Yeah.
You get 9/6 with Rush. Huh.
Yeah, and I happened to finally go back and re-listen to our set review for Descent of Dragons just the other day, and Brian brought up, it's like, yeah, that felt really, really pushed to get 2 copies of this. We didn't know quite what to think of it since we didn't know how easy or difficult it was to invoke twice.
Yeah.
You know, by the time you wanted to play this, it's not too hard.
It's really not.
No.
With your weapon and with Awaken, and you don't need to play this on 3.
Yeah.
Because usually this deck will have other things to do on 3, so... Yeah, and Trump, you know, the streamer, has been playing a Galakron... before the nerfs, was playing a Galakron Warrior deck that was just insane.
I bet.
And a big portion of that was getting super amounts of value out of Sign of Ruin. I'm talking play the Rhino... Are they Shrines?
Yeah, the Rhino Shrines.
Whatever. The Shrine that makes your Rush minions immune the turn you play them. And then playing Barista Lynchen and Dragon Breeder to just get more and more and more and more and more Sign of Ruin to outvalue all the other decks. And, yeah. At 3 mana, that's ridiculous. Now, at 4 mana, really the only thing that changes other than backing all of those interactions back a turn is you can't play Galakron, draw a Sign of Ruin, and then play it without a coin.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But everything else you can totally still do. But slows it down a turn. Have to add a mana to all of that when you want to go Sign of Ruin, Barista Lynchen, or Sign of Ruin, Dragon Breeder. So, because at 3 mana, it's fine to have a 3/2 with Rush that you then copy with Dragon Breeder just to get another copy if you really need to kill a thing on the board. You know, it's fine. But now you have to wait a turn to be able to play the Sign of Ruin and Dragon Breeder it in the same turn. So, yeah. That one makes sense just from a sheer power level perspective. Looking at that card is stupid. And at 4 mana, it's still really good.
Yeah. But now at 4, you feel a little bad when you have to play it without the bonus, but it's still fine.
But it's still fun, yeah. It's not as... At 4 mana by itself, it's not as ridiculous as the best common from previous set, the Reckless Mummy. I still hate that little bastard. So the other warrior nerf is Ankar. Who went from being a 2/3 weapon to a 2/2 weapon. Remember, Ankar says when you attack with this, draw a pirate from your deck. So now instead of getting 6 damage and 3 swings without shenanigans, it's 4 damage and 2 swings, which, Mike, in all card games, what is it that the aggressive deck always... What's the end game for the aggressive deck if they don't win?
If you don't win, you run out of cards and you lose.
Exactly. And Ankar getting 6 damage, which is not insignificant, and drawing 3 cards was really good. It's really good. Yeah. But now it only does 4 damage. It only draws you 2 cards, which is still good, but it's not really good.
Yeah, still useful.
Yeah. And I guess they did that because I think the win rate when played for Ankar was just higher than they wanted it, because if you draw Ankar, what does Ankar cost? It's like 3?
3? Sounds right.
That sounds right? I don't actually know. I refuse to play the deck. But
let's see if I can find on this other thing. If the page will load.
If the page will load. We might lose Mike for a second.
It will not. Nope. Here it goes. All right, warrior. Yes, 3.
Okay, yeah. But playing it on turn 3 caused your win rate with the pirate warrior deck to just jump massively compared to not drawing it on turn 3 or playing it on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that stat was probably more of a spike than they liked, so they just backed it off slightly. That's my guess. Again, we don't get an explanation on here. What was that?
I said, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We don't get an explanation on here like when there's an article. You remember when they used to do articles for balance patches? Oh, it was beautiful. Because they would have what the nerf was and the little paragraph explaining it. We don't get that anymore. Now we get forum posts with just bullet points. And that makes me sad.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, these last 2, it feels like they really had to be done in a hurry. I'm sure that's part of it. But I guess we'll see in the future whether that's a standard from here on out.
Yeah, like the last one they did real quick before they went on their winter break.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, like I said, they announced what these changes were on the 8th, and then 27 and a quarter hours later, it was a live patch. What? So yeah, like I said, that's my guess. That stat was just slightly too high, and they wanted to knock it down slightly by only getting you 2 cards, which it's still good. I don't think that kills the pirate aggro warrior deck. At least I hope not. But I don't see how it could possibly completely kill it. I think it just knocks off some percentage points.
Yeah.
All right, so then we get to Shaman. And look, it's the nerf that didn't happen last time. Dragon's Pack now reads, if you've invoked twice, give them +2/+2. So Dragon's Pack is a spell that gets you 2/2/3 wolves with taunt. And if you've invoked twice, they're 5/6s, which is massive.
Yeah.
But now they're 4/5s, which is a big difference.
Reasonable.
Yeah. But with a 5/6, there are so many things that just don't kill that at all, much less 2 of them. But at 4/5, you can handle them much more simply.
Yeah. But at 5/6s, just the single Dragon's Pack is going to eat 3 or 4 of your opponent's cards, at least.
Exactly.
And that's silly.
It's ridiculous. So they just knocked it down some, which this was the nerf that literally everyone expected in the previous balance patch, and instead they're like, oh, Sludge Slurper, and everybody went, what? Oh yeah, Sludge Slurper, man. Woo, it was killing us. What?
Poor guy.
That still pisses me off because I dusted the massive pile of Sludge Slurpers that I had just a week before they did that. And I'm like, oh, you bastards. But oh well, you can't win them all.
Right.
But yeah, so now you get 2 4/5s. It's still a pile of stats on the board for... What does Dragon's Pack cost? 4?
5.
5. Yeah, oh yeah, 4 would be completely ridiculous, yeah. So that's fine. It just knocks the power level down just enough, I think, to be good. But then they got this other one, which is Invocation of Frost, which, knowing what we know now about how the Shaman Galakron Invocation works, one was way too cheap.
Yeah.
It now costs 2 to freeze a thing and get a 2/1 with Rush. Yeah.
Yeah, the Shaman Galakron Invocation is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
And there's no way it should cost 1 mana. 1 mana and you get a small bonus. That makes no sense.
Yeah. And once people learned to freeze the thing they didn't want to kill... Excuse me, I didn't get a drink before we started because I'm an idiot. But when the set was new, I had a lot of people who would freeze something of mine and then kill it. And I'm going, good job. But once they got the hang of freezing that and killing that, now we're good. And at 1 mana, that's just too good. It's just too good. And you might be thinking, man, Galakron Shaman wasn't even that popular anymore and wasn't winning that much. Why did you... Because it's too good. I don't think that the Invocation of Frost nerf was a win rate thing. I think it was a what were we thinking thing.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, that's Shaman. And then the only other nerf that is a true nerf is Necreum Apothecary. Jumped up from 4 mana to 5, which, let's be honest, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because the ability to coin out the Necreum Apothecary on 3 and get your 7/7 to go with it, or your +3/+3 to all the minions in your hand.
Yeah, turn 3 is completely inappropriate for an effect like that.
Yeah, and turn 4 wasn't that much better when you go turn 3 Necreum Blade Swing, so it only has 1 charge, and then next turn Apothecary, like Backstab Apothecary or whatever Apothecary, swing with your blade, get a free Death Rattle. It's like, come on, man. That deck is one of the reasons that wait, I might be screwing this up. I know that right after the balance patches, Face Hunter became huge.
Yeah.
And to combat that, Quest Priest became huge to, as a defense. And somewhere this rogue combo deck fit in. But I can't remember where it fits into that pie.
Yeah, I remember it wasn't too much long after that balance patch that suddenly I was getting attacked by, 7 power Stone Tusk Boars and 8 power pirate guys. It was just like, why do you keep putting effects in the game that can make a Stone Tusk Boar enormous?
Yeah.
Please stop.
So the Necroom Apothecary costs 5 now, which pushes it back a turn. It doesn't kill it. It just pushes it back a turn, which, let's be honest, it probably kills it. Maybe not kills it, but it definitely makes it less palatable for people to play.
Yeah, it still works.
Oh yeah, it still works, but
it's just not blatantly unfair.
Exactly, yeah. And it's weird when I would rather they get free 7/7s than pump their whole hand.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather them get tempo from it right now with a big minion for free than tempo later with the giant minions in hand. Which is really weird considering a lot of people were down on hand buffing back in the day because, well, it doesn't do anything right now. Turns out it doesn't need to do anything right now when you're doing it 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's fine. And then finally, this last nerf. I don't really think this is a nerf. I think this was fixing an oversight. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza can no longer generate other copies of Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. Which, don't get me wrong, that's awesome when you go Alexstrasza and it gives you like thing and another Alexstrasza and you're like, yes, Alexstrasza, and it gives you thing and another Alexstrasza and it's like, oh my god. So then they wipe your board and you go another couple free dragons and another Alexstrasza. Ha ha ha. Like, no, there's just, you can't. But from the other side of that,
Oh, just extreme hatred.
yeah, like you're thudding your head into your keyboard, you're trying to kill your opponent with your mind, and they're not dying. By the way, I don't know which one of you it was, but while you were trying to kill your opponent with your mind that one time, I got a nosebleed, so cut that out. Anyway. But yeah, this is just nice and let's keep the silliness. Dragon Queen Alexstrasza is already a silly card. And a massively fun card.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't get the super hyper mega fun out of it, because the more fun you're having, in this one case, that amount of fun is zero sum. When you're like, Alexstrasza, da, 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 your opponent's going, ah! So let's just not do that. Anymore. That hurt my throat.
It sounded pretty harsh.
Apologies to anyone who now finds blood in their ear from that. My bad. But yeah, if, as always, you get the 2 weeks of the full Arcane Dust refund. I was just telling Mike, I had a golden Necreum Apothecary sitting in my collection, and I went, dust! I had, I think 8 Fiendish Rites and, 12 Invocation of Frost. I was like, yeah, because I don't ever dust stuff from the current set, ever. You should neither these days. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I opened 2 golden Faceless Corruptors from packs.
Ooh. Oh, you dusted them, didn't you?
I did.
Oh. Oddly enough, I had exactly 2 Sign of Ruin. I had exactly 2 Dragons pack. And I had 1 each of the 2 legendaries. I still might dust Ankar because I'm not going to play it, so I might as well get a legendary's worth of dust out of it. I might dust my other 2 Apothecaries anyway because I don't find that deck all that much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike free real estate, this is actually real. It's free Arcane Dust. So, But yeah, so there you go. Apologies for this being so late, but I had more important things to deal with, like, the funeral and whatnot. Wait a minute, when did this go live? This went live at 4:30 on the 9th. The 9th was Thursday.
4:30 Pacific.
Oh, wait, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, so that would have been 7:30 here?
Yeah.
Which means I was sitting at Nana's house trying to kill my family with my mind because they were all in the house. Being loud. I think not long after this went live was when I left to go to Dairy Queen and get away from them all. And I forgot my wallet, and McKinley had to buy me a Blizzard. Because I was in such a rush to get out that I didn't pick up my wallet. Driving without a license. In a wrong state. You bastard. And then, yeah, my 16-year-old my cousin's kid, whatever. McKinley had to buy my Blizzard because she didn't have her wallet either, but she had Apple Pay. But anyway, so that was, this, what is it, 16.0.8 balance patch. There's a bunch of stuff for Battlegrounds, but honestly, I don't play Battlegrounds. I don't even like Battlegrounds, so I'm not even going to talk about them.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't feel like talking about it either.
I do think Shutterwalk is going to be OP.
That was surprising to see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. So that's a thing. But anyway, with that, I guess we'll be done with this edition of the TMP Nerf Report. Right, Mike, you got anything else?
No.
Okay. I did play...
You asked. I mean, that was the answer to the question.
Fair enough. I did play several games yesterday to knock out all of the daily quests that had built up since I left.
Mm-hmm.
I've dropped more daily quests this month than I have since... Okay, well, it's not a really long time since the horrible Evolve Shaman meta. Before Descent of Dragons came out. But before that, I dropped more daily quests this month than I had in a long time. But I was playing my handlock deck, and nothing could seem to beat me.
Cool.
It was weird. I went on like a 5 or 6 game streak with handlock, which during, like, before this patch, handlock sort of went because it could beat the quest priest, and it could lose horribly to face hunter, and the rogue matchup seemed to be sort of a toss up, if I remember correctly. The death rattle rogue. So
okay,
yeah. But I was just beating everything, and people were playing weird stuff. It was awesome. Like, there was a mech paladin aggro deck that I just happened to get a good draw against. There was a...
Oh, neat.
Oh, God, what was it?
That mech paladin aggro deck is going to get another neat card from the adventure.
Oh, yeah?
Single player content, yeah.
I've only vaguely been aware of those. I figure once it comes out, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, they've just shown 4 cards.
Oh, okay. But I'm trying to remember. There was some other deck that I played against that was not anything like you'd expect, but my brain is refusing to show it to me at all. So never mind. But the fact that people are playing weird things means that the meta is once again in flux, which is fine by me. Anytime I can play not just Quest Priest, I'm happy. Because I love playing Quest Priest, but sometimes I don't want to spend, 25, 30 minutes per game.
Yeah.
Sometimes I let's be honest, sometimes I'm just taking a quick poop and want to play a game. All right? And I don't want to sit here till my legs go numb playing a Quest Priest game. All right? All right? I don't think that's too much to ask. Anyway, so this has been the TMP Nerf Report for 16.0.8, the Descent of Dragons second balance patch update. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Sorry it's late again, but can't be helped. And go play some Hearthstone.